If I get this right, I'm going to be blown away. Did I get it right? I might have gotten it right. What's up, y'all? Let me know if you can hear me, please. I was having some sweet technical difficulties as I reconfigure my OBS for a couple different things. But resetting this was absolutely one of them. And wait, let me look. Yeah, quality looks okay. I needed to make sure that the quality was there because I had also changed my stream and bitrate a little bit. So, cool. All right. That was probably really loud. Braveheart, you was in here all up, all sorts of early. So welcome. Lynn was second. As you can see in the chat, maybe we are going to do a giveaway tonight. And the Taylor jumped in. Lynn and I went back and forth for a little bit. I hit her up. She knows what number. Polyp Pal, welcome. I don't know that you've been here before, so welcome. Algae Warrior. Gregory Hines. Dubs Reef. Mother. K. Slay. Oh, there's a whole lot going on here. Puddle Aquatics. You haven't been here before, have you? Variant. There's always one. Saltfish TV, hello, sir. Did I say Gregory Hines? Maybe I did. Yes. I'm a little slow. Father. Kin, how are you? Filipino Reefer. Michael. Valhalla. So we're going to call me him tonight. Cool. If you, the 3D printer is printing. If that's annoying, we're just going to have to tough that out. If that's okay with you. It's over there printing some super cheap savers of the shrooms. You know what I'm saying. You know what. Let me see. I don't know if that's going to be. What's up, Seth? Let me see if this is going to work. Yeah, it will. These little doohickeys here. So this is a small one. I'm actually making a smaller one right now, testing something out. But this is super simple, right? Super cheap also. I can tell you right now, the cost to make this is pennies. So you know how I roll. Really, it didn't take that long either. Maybe about an hour to print this. Fine detail. It looks pretty slick. Little frag plug that sticks right through there. Right? Cool. That's what I've been playing with. That's what it's doing over there, only it's doing a different version. Something to fiddle with. You know, savers of the shroom. They don't have to be expensive. What's up, Chi-Town? What's up, Simply? Let me get through a couple things first. Let me get through... First, the tank's doing better. It's actually doing better, which is surprising. Actually quite surprising. Shout out. First shout out because I don't... I thought about the holes, Lynn, and I don't... Considering where those sit down at the bottom of the frag tank... There's water flowing over top of them already, so I'm not at all worried about what's going on underneath the shrooms because I can just pull it up and shake it off. No holes is a hell of a lot easier to print. I mean, I can make holes. I mean, you can make little middle finger emoji holes for the savor of the shroom. But whatever, we can put anything in there we want to do. Shout out to Jonathan and Jen from Tidal Gardens. Jonathan, their practice squad, 1A. Super fancy goodies those two have growing in their tanks. And they also help fan, like I said, over at Tidal Gardens. Jonathan and Jen have both been responsive to some of my tank woes, and I appreciate their assistance. Those are good people. Shout out also to Remy, who had me on this week talking about backup heaters, which is kind of a big deal to me. I run 2 heaters for every not sizable, but decent sized tank I have. I at least run 2 heaters. One is a backup, one is a primary. And then I also keep about 42 of them in my garage to make sure that I always have a heater when one goes bad or if the house gets a little chilly. Anthony Rodriguez, I always buy the bulk stuff from Bulk Reef Supply. I like that big old container, and it comes with replacement nozzles. And that's kind of my preference. I dig it. That's the stuff that I always get. Mitten Reefer. I was into 3D printing before getting into reef keeping. Totally. I was downstairs once with the Oculus. Oh, it's interesting. That little number works again. Downstairs with the Oculus doing some modeling, some clay modeling in virtual, and then exported that thing out and printed it. And it was pretty sweet. I still want to do that. I want to make a Pet G aquascape. Why not? Doesn't need to be rock, right? So, cheers to Remy. Remy's a good dude. Y'all know him. It was fun hanging out with him, fun talking with him. We need to talk more often. Tank update. This thing... Oh, by the way, we're going to be doing a giveaway. If I haven't already mentioned that, we're going to do that at the end of the stream. So you just got to tough it out. I mean, you can bail if you want. If you don't want to give away, that's fine. I'm not going to judge. This stupid Nem is incredibly happy living in this little acrylic box that I cut for it, and it likes to drape over the top. And I've talked about this before, that clownfish is becoming more and more of an a-hole all the time. It's interesting, that fish. That fish is a little bit of a challenge. But the tank's doing a little bit better. See, there's one of my fancy little savers for the shrooms sitting down there. This is a green tenuous, and that's one of the OG green tenuouses that I had in the tank, and they all died except for this one, and I'm pretty excited about it. There are currently 39 people watching this stream. If we get over 50, we're going to have to change our number selection for the giveaway. For the giveaway, we're going to be doing numbers 1 through 50. You pick. I've already identified the one that the winner number. If we get over 50, we're going to have to change that. So tank's doing pretty good. This one here, this came from the work tank, which I'm cleaning up. It's a little bit of a mess, and I put some others in the display. But some things have happened here in this system. So the 2 tanks downstairs are connected, as you probably know. I did 20% worth of water change this weekend. Alkalinity consumption is up. I continue to dose EcoBalance from Dr. Tim's every day now per the instructions, because I was an idiot last weekend. Also, I'm going all in on Dr. Tim's. The more I watch and read, the more I'm impressed, and the more I'm going to go that direction. So I've got a bunch of stuff coming. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen some of that stuff. But we're up to 44. Going to have to change them numbers. What's up, Phil? Cue balls. What's up? Macy's daddy, how are you? Anthony Rodriguez. We already answered that. Is that glue answer good enough? Hope so. So, also, I have Mighty Nano Tank's Gold Torch. It was in the display, and it, for whatever reason, started getting brown jelly, which pissed me off. I was like, I'm not losing this torch. So, I had decent luck with Melifix, dosing this stuff directly in the tank. And so what I did is I used, for 2 liters, I used 10 milliliters of this and dipped those torches twice for 15 minutes. So dipped it overnight, dipped it, done. But when I dipped it, I moved it after the first dip. I moved it to the Pico tank that's upstairs to get it out of that evil water that's living in the display. What's up, Jim and everyone? Appreciate the help the other day. Happy to help you, Phil. Looking forward to seeing what direction you go with that thing. Maybe we could talk about that a little bit. If you have brown jelly and you are lucky like me, have this stuff laying around. Don't wait. Go buy this right now. I have no affiliation. I'm just suggesting. Plus, it really smells nice. It's made from Melaleuca tree oil. My parents in here, they're going to go, what? Melaleuca? So, go buy this. And if your torches, Euphilia, whatever, are showing signs of brown jelly, pull them, dip them, put them in a different tank, put them in a quarantine tank, do something. This stuff worked. That brown jelly was dead. It's gone and working. What's up, Gabe? Working like a champ. Hey, Angry Owl. Yeah, so like I said, I'm going all in on Tim's. Go get Melifix. Have it on the shelf just in case. I think it's the way to go. Hopefully it tanks. Hopefully it's getting better. I need some of the stuff like this one. This one's from Lynn. This thing didn't die. Like I said, that green tenuous didn't die. Some of these other critters, like that's, I think Pinky the Bear is right there with some funky color, but it's alive. This one's, I had this growing into display, and this is 49. We are, this one lived. The one in the display died, which was really interesting. And then jack-o'-lantern. I don't know. Everything. This thing's huge. This is a big stag-looking thing. I don't know what it is. And these Superman mushrooms, that's why I'm making these. Because these Superman mushrooms are taking over the tank, so I'm going to start moving some of those out. What's up, Reefer Vapes? I used the pond one. Good for flatworm. Yep, I think it's all probably the same, Lynn. I don't know. So did you dose a tank or dope? Yes, I did both. So I dosed the tank. This was part of the regiment for my dosing. This and witch hazel and whatever that pill's called. Cipro something. That stuff, all of that's been going in the tank. As well as Ego Balance. I haven't thrown anything else at the tank lately, but this did go in the tank. I really didn't notice that it helped. It probably did, but I was probably not dosing enough. And it will make your skimmer go crazy, so make sure you pull the cover off and just let it skim away. I did dose this directly in the tank, but if you're trying to help Euphilia with brown jelly and you have the opportunity to pull them out and put them in a hospital tank or something, 10 milliliters of this and 2 liters of water, 15-minute dip, and your Euphilia will hopefully beat down the brown jelly. It worked for me. I didn't see that anywhere. Hopefully someone has done this other than me. So that's awesome to hear. I thought brown jelly was... Nope. Try it. If you got brown jelly, there's 51. Uh-oh. We're going to have to change our number. If you have brown jelly, try it. It's worth a try, right? What do you got to lose? Try it. If you can't remember what it is, because I suck at the description on the videos, etc., hit me up on Instagram. I'll help you out. Can we talk money? Because I was going to buy... I needed to buy this other Dr. Tim's stuff, right? Waste away and refresh. And I got to looking for prices, right? This is $90. That's $91 from Chewy.com. For the same exact thing without shipping. By the way, that Chewy.com order, that was with shipping. From bulk resupply, it's $173. $90. And it was buy 3, get 1 free. And $173. You know? I shares them like I sees them. That's a significant price difference. I don't know. You would think that Chewy doesn't necessarily have the buying power to negotiate those kinds of prices, and it makes me wonder if some of the aquarium proprietors, right, those who service just the aquarium industry for the most part, I wonder if there's some price agreements. I don't know. That's a big price difference. Dubs Reef, I am not going to be able to answer. I have no idea. I can't answer that question. I'm sorry. I've heard of some dosing Melafix directly into the tank for aquaport-eating flatworms, but I was too scared to try. I did it. So I was dosing 20 milliliters of this every day for 6 days, and it didn't kill my tank. But then again, my tank was already dying, so I don't know. But it wasn't a problem for me. Yeah, I'm with you, Algae Warrior. I do appreciate BRS, but I'm going to shop around because that's a significant price difference. I don't know. I always get my Dr. Tim stuff from Chewy, plus dog food. Yep, me too. I absolutely get my dog food from one of the dogs gets food from Chewy. Damn expensive food. 53 people. See, I chose too low. Speaking of, look, this thing's funny. This is a 2.5 amp. Here. This is an 8 amp hour battery. That's a 2.5 amp hour battery in a plastic enclosure with a charger with nothing else special. It's 12 volt, just like this little guy. And it's $130. And that is the biggest battery backup rip-off. Coral View, you should be ashamed. Biggest backup battery rip-off that I found in reefing. It is ridiculous. It's not special. There's nothing inside. 2.5 amp hours. That's nothing. It's tiny. $52 per amp hour for this. This thing that's way overpriced, way overpriced, is $9.63 per amp hour. This ships with an 18 amp hour battery. That ice cap, 2.5. 18, 2.5. $52 an amp hour, $9.63 an amp hour. Of course, I modified this, and y'all probably know that, but huge ripoff, which got me right. I've been playing like this thing. This thing's modified. This Ecotech battery. I pulled that lead acid out, and I put lithium iron phosphate in there, but only like 10 amp hour worth, not equal to the 18 that we talked about before. It's stupid. That's stupid money. Like, the people aren't going to figure that thing out. It lists it right there. There's your specs. You have slow Porsche money. I do have a slow Porsche, but whatever. Simply J. Don't mean to change the subject. I need a good replacement for for Gen 3 XR15. Noop Psych. It's right around the same wattage and very similar spectrum for significantly less money. For a little, you're probably 70, 80 watts with the XR15 at AB+. Unless you're running all channels 100%, whatever. The Noops will run hotter as well. OG, DMV, check out that Noop Psych that I reviewed. I think you'll find it will do exactly what you need it to do. What does amp hour mean in common person? The amount of juice stored. It's right here. It's in my hand. Amp hour is the amount of amps it can provide in an hour. And it is the amount of electricity stored in this battery that is made available when you need it. Oh, for reals, Lynn? I didn't check out the AliExpress dupes. That's interesting. So yeah, amp hour is the amount of power that the battery can provide. And when I say power, I mean voltage and amps together equals power. Well, times, but whatever. That was my first battery backup. It took a crap within a year. Ended up just getting a generator. Are you talking about the ice cap? Because you could just replace the 2.5 amp hour with something like this 8 amp hour, and it'll keep working. So it's not like it's dead. It's just a battery in there and some wires. Lithium iron phosphate battery at 18 amps or $68, which is way better deal on Amazon. Yep, and I bought the 20 amp hour version, and it should be here this week, which is going to be the basis of the whole build, because I can fit in this container, in this little toolbox, 2 of the big brother of this. So 2 of the 20 amp hour cells that I've ordered will fit inside that box. Now, I don't think they're listing the 20 amp hour battery anymore. Maybe it'll come back. Don't know. 58 people. But I say that because we're going to be doing a giveaway, and I told Lynn to pick one to 50, and we have more people than that now, so we're going to have to change it. No big deal. That will be the basis of the build. Oh, by the way, the giveaway, and I've shared this already. I think I'm done with slides. I'm pretty happy with the way the tank's going. Maker of things, CO2 scrubber reactor, hang on the tank thingy, 3D printed with some sweet glued together parts. And I mean, it works really well because I have one downstairs. And it's connected to my outside air source, so I'm not going through CO2 media at all. But, I mean, this is a cool little thing. I dig this. So I was approached. I was like, I'm buying it. And they're like, cool. I was like, I'm buying 2 because I'm going to give 1 away. Because I was interested in seeing if this would make a difference in my tank. It didn't, but that doesn't matter. And I like supporting a DIYer in the reefing community because the pricing was good. So this is a giveaway. I'm going to fill it full of Jorgensen soda lime, color changing, so you know, and then it'll ship to you ready to go. Cool? Hope you don't mind. I haven't done a giveaway. Noop is fantastic for the money. Gregory, I agree. It is absolutely my budget pick for lights, and thanks to Kay for sending me his light and letting me play with it. Let me scroll. Sorry, I missed some stuff. Would the Noops be good? 10-gallon nano. Yes. You just turn it down. Absolutely. Anthony Rodriguez. Yeah, and seriously, buy bigger lights than you need. I always buy bigger. Just buy bigger, because you're always going to need more light later anyway. So just buy what you think you're going to use in the future, and then just turn it down for a smaller tank. There's nothing wrong with that. BC, which filaments are reef safe? PETG. I just use PETG. Long time ago, I've been using PETG for a while. I saw that Travis was using Fish of Hex. He was using ABS. I hit him up. I was like, dude, PETG, it prints like... It prints way easier than ABS. So, PETG for sure. The ice cap started smoking. Yeah, that's a lead acid battery for you. I mean, seriously. Why companies continue to sell us products with lead acid batteries in them? That's some old school. What up, Bert? That's some old school technology, and it does not have a place in reefing as far as I'm concerned. Which battery for the Ecotech? You're asking which battery, once you drill the rivets out, which battery to replace the internal battery? If so, just get this little 8 amp hour. You might even be able to fit 2 in there, so you'd have 16 amp hours, which is more, because it's lithium iron phosphate, which is more power. Remember, that's amps and volts. Than the 18 amp hour that lives inside of that battery pack. Now you can use the same charger. It's not gonna charge this lithium iron phosphate 100%, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, you can use 2 of these 8 amp hours, I think, inside of that. That'd be worth me checking. Looks like it. Yeah. So, Mom, you just don't have to pick a number. What's up, Michael? Here, finally, listen and get a backup so I don't lose another. Yeah. So this is just a battery. So this isn't enough to. I mean, I did this last week, where you would have to have some 300 amp hours worth of lithium iron phosphate to get through 6 hours with 150 watts of heater. So we're not going to play with that here. Oh. Well, there you go. Lynn's throwing in another prize. Lynn's throwing in some food. Boom. Have you ever looked into the Nicrew? Yeah, I have one. I've got the Nicrew 100, and I tested that. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see the results for that. Personal opinion is the Dodge Viper, the Viper Spectra, then the Nicrew 100, and then the Noob Psych. However the hell you're supposed to say that. That light is tops for sure. The Nicrew is, I mean, it looks like a XR30. It's a goofy XR30, but it works fine. I was impressed with it. Spectrum was good. 2 or 3 Noops on a 3-foot 3. Yeah, I'd do 3 and an AliExpress bar, if not 2 of them. But like I said, I overlight. And I like the opportunity to be able to turn down my main light so you're not running them full blast. You can also use a medical suction cup reservoir saying concept. Yes, agreed. Totally. Simply J. Yeah. OG DMV. I'll take a look. I'm just about 100% certain 2 of these batteries in parallel inside that battery back, or just send it to, or just bring it over to me, and I'll do it for you. I mean, if you want to buy the batteries, cool, or I'll buy the batteries and you just pay me back for the batteries. I could do that for you since you're local. Does that work? Love the prize, Lynn. I don't know how to enter, but hopes to win. Yeah, Bert, we got you covered, man. What is the middle one after the Viper Spectra? It is the Nicrew 100, the 100-watt Nicrew, which is running right around 70-something watts. Just scroll through my Instagram and you'll see it. Reef Doink, would these batteries still be worth it if you needed to change to AC from DC? No. These aren't big enough. Like if you needed an inverter, if you needed to power an inverter, no, these batteries aren't big enough. Not these, not. I mean, you could do it with. I wouldn't do it with anything less than 50 amp hours. I would absolutely not do it with anything less than 50. I think that's the right way to go. But yes, lithium iron phosphate at 50 amp hours, absolutely. You can get into a 240, 280 amp hour lithium iron phosphate without a BMS, and we can talk about that kind of stuff later, but without a BMS for under $500 from AliExpress. And that will absolutely power an inverter and convert it back to AC. And you almost have enough, like I said, to drive a 150-watt heater for 6 hours off of just battery. DC needs to clean up his inbox. All right, so what are my goals? My goals, Paula Powell, that's super cool of you. Rather do I feel I learn much in an hour as I do here? That's because I ramble on so much. Imagine if I didn't ramble so much and I was a little quicker. You'd probably learn more, right? New to social media, feel blessed. That's super awesome. Thank you so much. That's very kind. For reals. What are my goals? My goals are battery backup to be able to charge it, to be able to view the voltage, to be able to even maybe view how much power it has used. I want it to charge my phone, because if I'm on battery for my tank, I also want to be able to have the opportunity to charge my phone. Right? Seems reasonable. And if I have enough batteries, remember, this is not the battery I'm using. This is just my demo battery because the bigger one hasn't showed up, and I'm probably going to get two of the larger. But if I have a big enough battery, why not? Like, what's more important? Being able to call 911, being able to call somebody if something's gone bad. I want to be able to charge my phone, right? I mean, if the tank's going to lose out, tank's going to lose out. Remember, this battery that we're going to build here is just for power heads and airstone. Because what I'm trying to do in this case is just to be able to move the water. I'm looking to replace this big stupid thing. I'm looking to replace, and really there's no electronics in here. It's like $175 for a battery. That costs $35. And it hasn't been in stock, so I think they're working on something. So I want to be able to move water. I want to be able to move water with an MP40 or an MP10 or an MP60, whatever. And those are 12 volts for their battery backup systems. I want to be able to continue driving my sweet, sweet Jabos at 24 volts. So I want my 12 volt battery to also charge at the detriment of amps. But I want it to be able to drive a 24 volt accessory. And I want to be able to read with this sweet little meter, like I said, how much volts is remaining on that battery. This is a lithium iron phosphate battery. It doesn't catch on fire. It's safe. It charges with almost the same charge profile as a lead acid battery, sealed, just like what we are given in the reef hobby, like with the Ecotech battery or the super rip-off one, ice cap. Sorry, 12 volts, right? Lynn never messages me. So, like I said, we're going to be using... Oh, one more thing. I want to be able to daisy chain batteries just in case. I want to be able to... plug in my sweet, hot backup toolbox to my car, to another big 12-volt battery that I might have laying around, right? I want to be able to go and grab a wire with a couple gator clips on it and just plug it into the toolbox to add more power. That seems like a reasonable thing to do, right? So what do we have? And I'll put a price list when I get to the description on this video. But what I have here is a rechargeable little itty bitty air pump, because I want to be able to put air in the tank. If that's one of the things that I think I'm probably lacking when I'm also moving the water around, which is something I think I'll want to do. This is it has a lithium battery inside. And this is also one of the reasons why I wanted to put 5-volt USB chargers on there for your phone. It also charges with a micro USB. So, air pump, I've also put prices in here because I'm just trying to get as close to the Ecotech battery as possible with more features. So, air pump. Display. I have one of these on not all my inverters. I have one of these on the big inverter that's downstairs, and I also have one on the solar backup that I installed, so I know how much voltage I'm looking at there. What's up, Ricardo? miss? You didn't miss anything. You just go back and watch. Trade for a puppy. There's something going on here that I'm not paying attention to. Toolbox. Thanks, Taylor. It fits, right? I mean, it's the right size box, and it will hold all the stuff, and it's got a little handle, and it's red. It's like, damn, what do I need? Because it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I can't think, or I had too many ciders. I want to go look for the red toolbox. I'm on the Noob Sykes website. I didn't know. They didn't ask. Punks. I'll have to go look. Oh, yeah. And you should always have 2 Coral Frenzy koozies because 2's better than 1. And Coral Frenzy is my pellet of choice because that's all my fish eat every day. So I talked about being able to connect the toolbox. So I bought this sweet 2-pin connector. This will be... Wait, I could do this. Let's do this. Remember this? Remember when we used to do this? Bam! Let's see if this works. I've got this little 2-pin connector that will be mounted and soldered onto the toolbox. And then this is a pinch grommet 2-pin that I will wire up to gator clips. I will probably just use these gator clips since I already have them and I'm not going to need them, so that I can go and hook these up to some other battery, connect it to here, and boom, now I have more battery. If my battery's running out, now I have more because I've connected this to my car that's running or whatever, and all of my equipment is still plugged into my toolbox. So then I've just added more power. I don't have to think, right? I just walk up, hook this up, done. I want to be able to do that. And I want it to be, I want to be able to use any 12-volt battery I want. So it connected to gator clips and a decent wire seems to make sense to me. That makes sense? Let me get in here. Yeah, I agree, Bert. I really like the 1mm pellets, and I don't think they're doing those anymore. Reef vapes, no, in parallel. If I connect the batteries in series, then I'm going to have 24 volts, and then all my 12-volt stuff is, all the magic smoke's going to fall out, and that's not going to work. Speaking of 24 volts, I should have brought up the meter. This is a step up. So if you hook a 12-volt battery to here, then 24 volts comes out of here. This will not be the same amperage as this, but it doesn't matter because 24-volt accessories like this don't draw a lot of power. By the way, this is the shunt that you use to connect the display, but we'll move that out of the way. Okay, so step up. These are cheap. This is a good device, solid state, and it makes a 12-volt battery 24 volts. This makes sense to me too. I want to be able to power whatever I want to be able to power. I don't want to worry about 12 volts, 24 volts. I want to have both. I'm going to make the connectors different so you can't plug your 12 volts into your 24 because that would suck. But we'll figure that out. Okay, so I've got 24 volts covered without having to put the batteries in series, which I could do, but I don't want to. I'd rather have the amp hours instead of the voltage. I'd rather have the available amps instead of voltage. Do you connect the batteries in series? Nope. Parallel. Redundancy. I sent you a message on IG if you did Puddle Aquatics 2 days ago. Did I not reply? Maybe I didn't. Sorry if I didn't. Does not look like you have seen it, so wanted to give you a heads up. Same name? Because I'll go look when I'm done. Yeah, I have some 1mm pellets as well. I'll see if I can talk to Ken. I drank some of my Kalkwasser. Dude, that's redundant. That's Kalkwasser. Wasser is water. It's like calc water the other day. Let me tell you, don't do it. Grabbed it off the counter, think it was my drinking water. Drinking water, Bert? Don't drink calc. That's lime. That's what they pickle freaking olives with. Don't do that. Tasted like... Yeah, you probably threw up, yeah? All right, Puddle, I'll check. Sorry. What else? I want to be able to charge it. So this is both lead acid and lithium iron phosphate charger that I will use to keep this thing topped off. You can use a 12-volt charger, a regular old 12-volt charger for lead acid. It'll also work just fine. But since this thing is dual, this is the one I went with. This is a 2-amp. Let's talk about this as well. This is a 2-amp charger. One other thing I want to be able to do, I don't want the equipment to switch over to the battery. I want the battery to power the equipment all the time. So if that charger is hooked up to this battery, it's providing 2 amps as long as my draw from this is less than 2 amps, because 2 amps is a lot in DC. Then I can always run off this battery. My power heads can always run off this battery. Anything else that I have plugged into this within reason can run off this battery. As long as the charger can keep up with the power draw, I'm always running off the battery. That way, when I lose power, I'm still running off the battery. I'm just not charging it anymore. Doesn't that make sense? You see a lot of companies running their equipment in backup mode, where you see like Ecotech runs their equipment in backup mode off the battery backup. Why not just generate enough power to run the equipment off of the battery 100% of the time and just keep the battery top charged, keep it topped up? Doesn't that kind of make sense? Speaking of calc, I took a page from your book. Hooked up a 30-gallon trash can full of calc. Well, there you go. That's a big-ass trash can. I assume you have a large tank. Get it, Anthony. All right. Right? So, always running off the battery, and we just keep the battery charged. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try it. And then, like I also said, what else is coming? I think this is probably it. I also said that I want to have 5-volt USB attached to the battery so I can charge my phone, or I can charge my battery-powered air pump. Makes sense, yeah? You see any backup batteries for reefing that has a freaking cell phone charger on there? No. Why? Because they'd probably charge you $50 more. And that's not cool. So there's that. I also want it to be as close to... Well, I want it to be water resistant. So, yeah, I wouldn't stick it in the rain. That's not what I would do with it. But I want it to be splash proof. So any external penetration into the toolbox will be made with the same kind of grommet that you saw on the back of the extra power adapter doohickey. So these, I'll just punch a hole, and then these will be sealed up pretty decent. It'll make it look a little nicer. It won't look so stupid. I mean, it's stupid, but it's not going to be that stupid. Does that make sense? So we'll do that. That's it. Does that work? So the price for all this stuff is pretty cheap. Like I said, I'll put prices in the description. All of this is really easy. And as far as I'm concerned, anybody can do this. And it just takes a little bit of learning, and don't let the magic smoke out. What's up, Remy? We talked about you behind your back, bro. What you missed was Bert drank calc because he thought it was his water. And it looks very similar to a gin and tonic with a little too much lemon in there. Reefer Vapes. You're welcome. Maybe you're talking to me. Hopefully you're talking to me. But you're welcome. 200, man. I don't know what it's like to have a big tank. I don't know what that's like. I don't know what that's like at all. Llama snack. That's hilarious. And I saw Moki talking about his Bahama Llama. Hey, Remy, the Zoas that Moki was talking about today. Did I bring those back? Were those motorhome Zoas? I can't remember. I thought you shipped them something too. Bert, I skipped right over that. But I did discuss how we're going to make connections to the toolbox that way. Don't want external penetration. Here we go. Steph, not worry about these reviews. The reviews, I looked at the reviews for these, and generally, like the biggest review I saw was because somebody thought this was going to work for them, and it's not a direct lithium or not a direct lead acid replacement. I'm using this in a low current draw environment. This will blow away any lead acid at 8 amp hours. There's nothing wrong with these batteries. You just got to use them. These are people that don't know what they're doing, saying, "Oh, it didn't work." It's because you didn't know what you're doing. Why should I pay premium for lithium iron phosphate batteries? Normal batteries last for 4+ hours. They don't. 4+ years, sorry. A lead acid does not last for 4+ years. A lead acid will last for about a year at its full amp hour rating. After that, it starts dropping off. If you have cycled that battery at all, then it's going to last way, way less than 3 years, which is generally what you see out of a sealed lead acid. You may get more, but if it cycles at all, you're going to lose capacity. So what I challenge you to do is do a capacity test on a sealed lead acid, 8 amp hours. Now, when it's brand new. In 1 year, do it again. It'll be less. In 2 years, it'll be less than 1 year. In 3 years, it'll continue to be less, while this lithium iron phosphate lead acid or lithium iron phosphate 8 amp hour battery will continue to pull 8 amp hours, if not a little more, for past 10 years. Up to you. So you can buy lead is dead batteries and replace them more often and not have the amount of electricity that you've purchased. Or you can buy a lithium iron phosphate and not worry about having to buy a battery for 8 to 12 years. Your money, right? Do what you got to do. And I'll call it a premium, right? I mean, you could buy a Yugo. Well, you could. Or you could buy, back then, a decent Ford Escort. That's the way I see this. Oh, you caught me, Bert. Let me take over a small corner of the garage for things. 5 months old, big as well. That's a big tank. Don't know what I'm doing here either. LOL. So, what's up, Dar Sanchez? Yeah, seriously. I mean, go get the batteries and play with them, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Sealed lead acid, 3 years. Right? That's what you're getting out of. That's what you're getting out of the. Heck, the Ecotech ones. You're paying a premium there. If you're not, that's a premium. keep forgetting to set an alarm. What's up? What's up, Chris? Yeah. So I don't know. I only want to buy it once. Does that make sense, Steph? Did you talk about power out and the cheapest switch over to battery? Bert, I don't want to do switch over. I did. You were too busy focused on external penetrations. I always want to run off of the battery. I don't want to run off of wall power. I want to run off the battery with whatever devices I have, because you could stash the little toolbox wherever and then power your devices off of that if you want to do it. There's no switch over then, because you're always running off the battery and you're just keeping the battery charged, if that makes sense. Do I have to replace these batteries 8 to 12 years if you're using a lithium iron phosphate? That's if you cycle them. They can potentially last longer if you don't cycle them. So if you just keep it charged, cycling means charged, dead, charge, dead. A deep cycle is charge, dead, dead. Charge. Oh. Yeah, that one didn't work. Oh, it kind of worked. That's what a deep cycle is. If somebody tells you, knock it off, Bert, I know where you're going. A deep cycle. If somebody tells you, oh, no, that didn't work. Oh, it did kind of work. That deep cycle is better. That's just because it's built to cycle a little more than just a regular battery. I'll have to clean this up. This is a little itty bitty baby shroom holder doohickey that will still hold the frag plug like that. Yeah, you can keep it sitting there for 10 years, maybe even longer. Yeah, only want to pay for it once. Does it hurt a lithium iron phosphate to stay charged, or is it better to cycle them? It does not hurt it to stay charged. Just let it stay charged. Don't cycle it. Any battery, this is good for like 2,000 cycles, which is, compare that to a lead acid, which is good for maybe 50. Every time you cycle a lead acid, the capacity becomes less. If you deep cycle it, which is driving it way down too low to the point where it's dead, then your capacity is very much negatively impacted. You can't do that with these batteries because it has a built-in battery management system that when the battery voltage gets too low, it cuts the voltage to protect the battery itself. So you don't get that kind of damage with this, where you do with a lead acid. A lead acid is truly a stupid battery. It's an old technology, and it's on its way out. Do you just stick one to the wall and then stick your wave maker to one end? Like one end of, what are you asking me, Lynn? Kind of yes? Oh, I like this. I have to clean this up. I figured out how to put text around the outside, and it looks pretty good. Are lithium iron phosphate batteries the type of batteries that are in battery-powered lawnmowers, etc.? No, mine's a lead acid. Mine's a lead acid that uses two identically sized, and I'm going to try it, these. And they are in series, because that's a 24-volt lawnmower. I don't know what's in, Chris, I don't know what's in a, what's up, Moki? What's in the lawnmower that you're talking about? Is it the kind with a little handle and you charge the battery and you stick the battery inside in the lawnmower and go out and mow a small yard like I have? If so, that's a lead acid. But and I've had to replace, and if you look at the prices of those, they're ridiculous. But if you just take them apart, you can replace, actually I did a video on that once. You can replace the batteries yourself and save just a ton of money, like $100 or less saving money. Let's do a giveaway. Because it's like 8:30. And I've almost been on for an hour. Did I cover everybody's questions? Steph, sorry if I came off a little terse. I am just not a lead acid guy. And I just don't see the value of buying, or when companies, I find this disappointing. When companies like this sell you a battery backup for like $175 and it's got an 18 amp hour lead acid battery in there, it costs $35. That pisses me off. Because you're just, right? You're inflating the hobby for no value. There's no added value. It's just a $35 battery for $175. It irritates me. And people don't know, right? So people are like, "Damn, I got that Ecotech battery." People don't know. Haven't watched the video today. Moki, something about Zoas. Yeah, I can't remember. I think you sent Moki some Zoas. And I also think I brought him back some stuff. I can't remember what I brought in the motorhome for him. Jim, are you making a video on your project, or do you plan to do it live? Yeah, I want to do it next week live, Phil. As long as I have everything I need. Every time I've tried to make something like this live, I've failed. So I'd like to continue. I'd like to continue that trend. If I do work on this, portions of it that I won't show live, then I absolutely will record it with the same setup, and you'll be able to see it, and I'll share that as well. I have one of those Ecotechs. That's why I was looking in your recommendation. Time to, yeah. That I have in there is a homemade battery. I don't have a screwdriver up here, do I? Inside this pack is 4 lithium iron phosphate cells with a BMS, a battery management system that I assembled. But I do, like I was telling OG, I do think 2 of these will fit inside that box. And as long as you hook them up parallel, then you're looking at 16 amp hours, which will truly be more than the 18 amp hours that's in there. Oh, by the way, this weighs nothing. So that brick that you're hanging on the wall over there with the Ecotech battery will now weigh nothing. You'll feel as if you don't have enough electricity in there, because you'd be like, damn, this doesn't weigh anything at all. It has to be less powerful. Nope. I understand that. That's one of those size, weight things. Thanks, Bert. That's cool of you. Yeah, hey, Moki. Those Zoas, did they take an RV trip, or did he send them to you? I can't remember. I can't remember what I brought you. It's like using an automatic tester that doesn't correct. Waste of money. This? Yes. Are you going to talk about how to put multiple batteries together so it will last longer? Yeah, you want me to show you? I can show you right now. Let's do it. Bam! I'm going to get a pencil and a sticky. We'll get you all up. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. So 2 ways to connect a battery together. We're only going to talk about parallel. So if this is a battery, and this is your plus, and this is your minus, and this is a battery, and this is your plus and a minus. You see this, Mark did this when he had his power outage. If you're going to use more than 2 batteries, there's a better way of doing it, but this is the way to do this. What you don't want to do is don't do this. You don't want to do this. You don't want to hook the negative to the positive, because then here you will have 24 volts to this negative, right? So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. There, I Beetlejuiced it, so now it's safe. What you want to do is you want to hook that to that. That's a negative to a negative. And you want to hook positive to a positive. So now if you have 8 amp hours here and 8 amp hours here, Can you see that? Can you see that? Is that better? Parallel, parallel. Now you have 12 volts here and to this negative, and this battery is pulling from this battery. So this battery and this battery are now combined, and you've got 16 amp hours. Okay. Where it gets fun is if you have larger battery, like the 20 amp hour I bought for the toolbox. So I can get 40 amp hours, which is a hell of a lot of battery for a project like this where you're really not going to be powering high load. So you can go like days for cheap. You can go days for under $200, which is only $25 more than this stupid Ecotech battery. It's 18 amp hours, but what if you wanted to go 40? 40 is more. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? So that's parallel. Positive to positive, negative to negative, and you're good to go. Safety, because I have to do this, because if somebody hurts himself, it's going to be my ass. Do not play with anything over 40 volts. You'll feel that, and you run the risk of hurting yourself. 40 amp hours is different, right? 40 volts. So don't connect to 24 volts in series. It takes you higher than you need to be, and you run the risk of hurting yourself. Chances are you won't, but you run the risk of hurting yourself. So don't do that. 12-volt batteries connected in parallel to double your amp hour rating. Or more. If you hook a big hoss of a battery up to that 12 volt that's living inside your toolbox, you'll have that much more power. Does that make sense? Bert, did I do that right? I know you know what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm John. I missed the RV trip. That was good. Those are cool looking Zoas. I like those. More is more better. That's the truth. Totally get it. Never shipped you anything yet. What else? Did that answer the question on how to hook up the battery? Who asked me? Sorry. Casey. Casey, was that cool? Did that help? Let's do a giveaway. Oh, there are 60 people here. Everybody type your number. Between 1 and 70. Thank you, Ricardo Fuentes. That's incredibly nice of you. Thank you so much. Have you seen the Stratton? I have not. Is it the Stratton? I tried to get the Stratton. They won't send me one. I said, I will pay. That's the ATI, right? I will pay. Everybody pick a number. I will pay shipping both ways. Let me see that Stratton. And they're like, no, thank you. But if you want, you can have an ICP test as long as you talk nice about us. I'm like, no, thank you. I just wanted to test your light. Right? You see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm happy to buy your ICP test. I have. But I wanted to test your light. No. They said no. Was there another question? Super cool of you to help me out, though. Thank you very much. How's the stream looking tonight? Is the quality better? I upped the bit rate a little bit. What is the general rule for calculating how many amp hours you need? For example, I would like my return pump to run for 24 hours on the battery. Casey, what is your return pump? How many people you got here? You got 60. What is your return pump? Is it AC or is it DC? My pump uses 37 watts. Is it 37? Yeah. Is it 12 volt or 24 volt? Or what is it? You on Instagram? If you're on Instagram, hit me up. I can help you work through the math. Because now we got everybody throwing in numbers here. I see a winner in there. All right, Puddle. I got you. Cool. Hey, Lynn. What's the magic number? Because we got a winner. I hope you're in the U.S. Because if you're not, then we're going to have to figure something else out. I only saw it stream by there once, too. There it is. Ricardo Fuentes, you won. Where are you since you're sending me pesos? Because I think you were the first 17 I saw. Yep, and Chris. Sorry. Ricardo was first. Where are you, Ricardo? Look at Bert. You're funny, Bert. Ricardo was first. Oh, and then the second 17. There we go. I like that. Chris gets the second. That works for me. Where are you at, Ricardo? Oh, perfect. Thank you, Mogi. That's super cool of you. Ricardo, hit me up. Lynn, I can pay for the shipping if you'd like. We can work that out on the other side. If you want to do the shipping for Chris, that would be fine, or I am happy to do it as well. That's your choice. Oh, there it is. She already said you can message her. And Ricardo, message me with an address, with your sweet address in Miami, and I'll get you hooked up. I hope it helps. I hope it comes in handy. That's pretty cool. This was my first, so thank you for participating. Thank you for hanging out. There's still a whole bunch of people here. Only a couple of people. And I'm going to show you this real quick. You want to see some shady business I'm playing with? Wait, this way. Can you read this? Ready? Oh, that's low down, ain't it? Boom. Look at this sweet little baby shroom saver. Or the saver of the shrooms. Right? Let me know. You know how much that cost? Guess how much that cost? Guess how much that cost to print? Say it's for a little baby shroom. Cool. Thanks, Len. You laughing at me, Remy? That little shroom, that little saver of the shroom, costs 13 cents to print. So when if you are ordering 3D printed goodies from people, remember that costs 13 cents. That is not. I'll show that, OG. Did you block it, Lynn? Oh, no, there it is. 3D printed butthole. No, this is not a 3D. Well, that's funny. Because that's funny. 13 cents. All right, that's it. That's all I got. Anybody have any questions? Happy to answer questions. I'm in a better mood because my tank's not dying, so there's that. Yeah, agreed, Moki. But I thought it looked kind of cool. I was playing with oh crap. What was the program I was playing with? It was awesome. Autodesk. I was playing with Fusion 360, and I thought I was like, I need to learn how to make stuff in Fusion 360. So, Jeremy, I'm not worried about any of that stuff. If you know how I roll, if I'm making something because I probably wanted it to begin with. Thanks, Puddle. That's cool of you. Thank you very much. That's awesome. If I'm making something, then I'm going to later, Simply J. I'm making something for me, right? And if I've already made it for me, I'm not going to charge you for design. And seriously, I'm not worried about the electricity. Really, of all the things I'm going to worry about in my house, it's the electricity for a 3D printer. Nah, so I can keep it cheap. All right. If there are no questions about electricity, about batteries, about backup, about stupid bad bacteria in my tank that it looks like maybe I've overcome, then I'm probably going to hop off. Gregory, that's very nice of you. Thank you so much. Lynn, I'll give you half. Lynn does a really nice job on her side. She does a similar thing with the local reef group, Facebook group here, and she's super generous with the corals, so she deserves some credit. But thank you, Gregory. Later, Alyssa. Moto L4. Moto. I don't know what that means. Getting in at 25. Modded Viper Spectra. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Can I contact you by Instagram, Ricardo? Yeah, hit me up. Yeah, hit me up on Instagram. That's perfectly fine, Ricardo. If that doesn't work, I'll figure something else out. I know you don't care. I'm talking about everyone else. But some of those people might think highly of themselves. Oh, people deserve to be paid for what they do, and I treat it a little differently. And I try not to step on their toes intentionally, right? Because I don't want to be that guy. But if you need stuff on the down low, hit me up if I have time, and I generally don't. That's where the other people are going to beat me, is I generally don't have that kind of time to play with stuff like this. So, do you have a list of parts put together for battery backup posted anywhere? Chris, it's going to be in the description of this or the next video when we're putting some of this together. I'll share everything that I've bought. None of this is a secret. Later, Bert. Later, Remy. Was that you, Remy? Yep. Thanks, Phil. Everybody's checking out. I just want to make sure I get through these to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Later, Moki. Later, Steph. Anyone dose witch hazel to kill bacteria? I just did. Yep. So I watched that Mike Paletta video, and I went 6 days, 20 mil of witch hazel in my tank, along with Melifix and some other things going on. So, thanks, Dad. My tank went through a lot of problems, and I am on the other side of witch hazel, and it looks like my tank is recovering. Hopefully. Got it, Rick. Got you covered. What's up, B? Later. What's up, Jason? Yeah, Macy's daddy. Gotcha. Okay, cool. What's up, Jason? All right, Justin. You didn't miss anything. We just sort of hung around. I drank a little bit, and I just said bad words. And there's still 50 people here, I think. Yeah, that's it. If you got no questions, then I'm going to check out. Cool. Cool. Oh, hey, you know what I did? Oh my God, look at the size of that belly. I'm an old man. This is my late 2013 MacBook Pro, and its battery was toast. And I totally went on iFixit, and I bought a battery, and it was crap. And then I was like, hey, this battery sucks. It's not cool because it's making my computer flip out. It was making the trackpad flip out. And they sent me another one. Perfect. So my late 2013 still has some oomph. It was really easy to replace, too. All right, now I'm done. Hey, everybody's super cool. All of you support that, not just the chat support, but the super chat support, and your just willingness to come in here and ask questions and chat back and forth with each other and participate in some of the things that we have going on here. I think that's super cool of you. So I can't thank you enough. I'm honored that you hang out with me. I'm honored that you chill in the chat while I'm fumbling along with my topics, and you're willing to listen, and hopefully you get something out of it. Hopefully it's somewhat educational, or at least stupid fun for you, that kind of thing. But so thank you, right? Thanks all of you who hang out and just say kind words and help me get through this. All right, cool. Happy reefing, and I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody continues to be safe, that everybody's toughing it out. Here we are a year later, right? Thank you. That's all I got. Happy reefing and be kind, everyone. Have a good night.